Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, it's a nice crisp fall morning. Fall's here. You know what that means. Time to fire up the sawmill again. Got a beautiful stack of logs behind me, so we're gonna start going through them and making some lumber. You know it's fall when the spiders are out. Check out that guy right here at my slab rack. Oh, he doesn't like me too much. Sorry buddy, I'm gonna have to destroy your artwork later because I don't want a face full of spider web. Anyway, it is middle of September. Weather's changing. I mentioned a while back I don't saw much over the summer. I fired up the mill a few times to do some custom orders, odds and ends stuff, but nothing major. I've had these logs sitting here a couple weeks. I think in a video you guys saw when they were getting unloaded. I haven't had a chance to touch them yet, which kind of kills me. I don't like to let logs sit around too much, especially these. I got some beautiful cherries and walnut and some odds and ends mixed stuff. And they've been sitting around long enough. Time to tackle them. So this was a trade deal. I'm doing a bunch of work for guys building a new home. He cleared some land for obviously to build the home, and he had more timber than he can use in his project, so we trucked up the rest of the timber. We're just going to trade it off for some work I'm doing for him, which we'll probably show you in the next few weeks here. But basically, I went down and looked at the stuff, but he ended up cutting it to length and sending it here. So it's a mismatch. I had the trucker separate the cherry from the walnut, but beyond that, it is a mix of lengths, and obviously I'm gonna have to do some trimming on it. So that's the first step in the process here. I'm gonna measure, trim. I got my backpack sprayer set up with Anchor Seal. I'm gonna seal the ends, and then we'll start milling. But basically the way I'm sawing this stuff is from longest to shortest. That's always the simplest for me for stacking purposes. I do have some of this spoken for, but a lot of it I'm just sawing for inventory. So I'm just gonna try to keep the lengths that maximize the wood and give me the best grade. So should be some nice stuff. I always love cherry. I definitely love walnut. So I'm going to start cutting and sorting here and spraying with Anchor Seal and see what we come up with. So that looks a little bit better, doesn't it? I got everything cut and sorted by length. stack of 8, stack of 10s, a couple 12s over there at the mill. I haven't used this sprayer since spring, so let's see if she's going to spray or if she's all clogged up. I know for a fact this tip, yeah, that's going to have to get picked out. Let's see how this works. Well, it looks like it's going to flow. She doesn't shoot the prettiest spray pattern, but it's getting the job done. And the problem is I can't do this and hold the camera at the same time. The one thing I will tell you guys about this, if you want to put anchor seal in your logs, works good. If you want to spray it like this, you got to use one of these backpack sprayers. Do not try to use one of those handheld pump sprayers, a garden sprayer. It's not going to work. Ask me how I know. They work totally different. This has an actual pump. Those hand pump sprayers just pressurized, and they don't have enough pressure to push this stuff because it's pretty thick. So there's your tip for the day. I learned the hard way. But these backpack sprayers, you can get them at Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever, about 80 bucks give or take, and they work great. So much better than putting on with a brush. I leave this stuff in here like you just saw, clean up the tip, you're good to go. No cleaning brushes. It's faster, easier. Definitely the way to go if you want to use anchor seal. So it's your pro tip. I'm gonna keep spraying. I like to use this on my higher value woods, definitely a cherry and walnut. Sometimes I'll use it on oak if it's high grade oak. Flooring oak I usually don't bother. The ends get cut off anyway. It just keeps the lumber from splitting on the ends. Gives you a nicer finished product. Wish I would have got to a lot of this stuff a couple weeks ago, but just didn't have the time. It's a common problem around here. All right, I'm all painted up. Lovely shade of pink. They're going to turn red as they dry. It'll be a nice red color. You can get this stuff in different colors. I don't know. I guess I'm partial to red. It's what I've always used. And basically, once you fill this backpack, you're not switching colors because you'll never clean them out. So it's basically a one-use deal once you buy one of these backpacks and make it an anchor seal sprayer. But I would love to jump in and start sawing these things, but this got dry. Don't try to saw logs with wet anchor seal. Once again, ask me how I know. That's got to dry. Honestly, I'm probably gonna let it dry all day. I'll probably come back and saw it tomorrow. I got no shortage of other stuff to do. I got to clean up around the mill, get that ready. I got another project going on up in the shop. So I'm just going to give that the day to dry out, and we'll be back tomorrow. Do some action sawing, something we haven't done in a while. I know you guys like to watch me saw, especially some nice cherry. So we're back another day. I told you they were going to turn red. I got the mill set up this morning. She's ready to go. I'm going to start with these couple 12 footers. Got a nice big one here to start with. So we'll give you some action right off the bat. Let me get it on the mill, get the mill warmed up, and we'll get to sawing. I mentioned I haven't sawed in a while. A little bit of a rough start if you're watching close. Gotta knock the cobwebs off a little bit and get used to running the mill again. But I'm grade sawing this stuff. I don't know if I mentioned that. So basically what I'm doing, you can tell I just had the respirator on. Basically what I'm doing is trying to get the absolute most select grade lumber out of those logs that I can. So I'll show you what I came up with here on the first log. Some pretty nice stuff. Some really nice clean cherry there. Nice boards, some wide boards, 10, 12 inches, some of them. And then I've got the common grade stuff out here. This is the stuff that has some knots in it, lower grade. So I'm taking my time grading, separating, trimming right off the mill. I don't always do that, but in this case I am, just so I know exactly what I have when it goes out to air dry. I won't have any guesswork, and doing the work up front saves me some work on the back end when it comes to sorting. So that's what I'm up to with this stuff. Beautiful lumber. I'm happy with it. So I actually gotta shovel some sawdust from under the mill. It's pretty packed under there, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna saw the rest of this stuff. I'll bring it back and show you how I end up. Boy, I sure wish you guys could smell what I'm smelling. If you've ever been around fresh cherry, you know what I'm talking about. It's filled the whole mill here. Even out in the log yard, you can smell it when the wind blows. Just that nice, fragrant cherry smell. Can't really describe it, but if you know, you know. So I'm through all of it. I got all the cherry logs sawed. Pretty nice batch of lumber, let me tell you. These two stacks here are select grade and better, just perfect. Really, really nice stuff. 4/4 and some 5/4. I have some stair treads coming up here that I have to do, so that'll make stair treads. Just beautiful stuff. A dream to saw. There's over 800 feet here, probably closer to 900 feet of just really nice select lumber. And then I've got the lower grade stuff, common grade lumber. You know, nothing to write home about, but still in its own right, not terrible stuff. Just has some knots here and there. I'll tell you, this stuff actually does make really nice paneling. I've seen this made as paneling, and it is really nice. I actually have a paneling order coming up. Maybe I'll film that one and show you guys what I'm talking about. But cherry paneling, when it has that character rustic grade, really is something unique that you don't often see. But this stuff here is definitely the highlight for me. So this will obviously be for retail sale, for furniture, cabinets, molding, high-end projects like that. Really nice stuff. In fact, I even tapped a bucket of water here. I'll go over to this stack that doesn't have the stickers on top so you guys can get a better look. That'll bring out the grain a little bit more. Pennsylvania cherry. They say it's the finest in the world. Nice looking stuff. So that's a wrap on the cherry. I'm real happy the way that sawed out. Sometimes with logs you don't know what you got until you're into them, but in this case I think I'm making out pretty well on this deal. Next up I got those walnut that were in there mixed amongst the cherry. I already started cutting and painting the ends on some of them, and when I was sawing this I got an idea in my head for a pretty neat video, something we've never done before. I don't know if anybody's ever done it before. So when I get into sawing the walnut, we're gonna have a separate video on that, totally different than this one. So you're gonna have to stick around, hit subscribe, like the video, all that jazz, and that'll be coming out here in the next week or two. And that'll be interesting too, because if there's one thing I love more than beautiful cherry, it's beautiful black walnut. So stick around to see that. Thanks for watching, guys.